Hello YouTube, here's the fall garden beginning. What I'm going to do is going to be kind of a short video. I'm going to try to go through here and show you what's left over from the spring garden, and then we're going to show you what we planted for the fall garden and explain a little bit why and go from there. First thing we have is the okra. It doesn't look like it did about a month ago, or actually about a month and a half ago. It is pretty much okra'd out. We do have still the one tall one standing. So I'll take a picture of it and put it in the video so you can see I'm 6 foot tall, and I believe that's probably going to be about 10 to 12 foot tall. I'll measure it and make sure, see what it is. But what we did is every time we picked the okra, the leaf that was providing nourishment for that okra, or the spear, we would cut that off because you don't need it anymore. Well, down toward the end, they've already started coming back. So in all honesty, I could probably let that grow a little bit more, another week or so, and start getting okra down on the end again. Down on the end closer to us, you see the two real large ones here on the very first plant. Just beyond that, the tops of the stems of the okra plant are already starting to bloom again. Those little bitty green leaves you see at the top, there's little clusters of okra in there. If I'd leave everything alone, which I'm probably just going to let it go at this point in time, it's not hurting anything, it's just sitting there and still growing some okras. We might still get a little bit of okra out of it. May just leave it in there until it just dies off and till it into the ground. I'm a big fan of okra, fried okra, not boiled okra. Boiled okra is nasty. I never have liked it. I've noticed, my taste buds have changed a little bit. I used to not like turnip greens, but I love turnip greens now, so I told my wife to get in there and cook up a batch of boiled okra, see what we thought about it. Well, she's found a recipe that takes 90% of the sliminess out of the okra. If you like boiled okra, or if you don't like the sliminess of the okra or boiled okra, shoot me a message in the comments below. I'll give you the recipe. Like I said, I hate nasty slimy okra, but I'll eat what she's cooking now with the boiled okra as long as it don't slime on me. Okay, next thing we're going to look at here, left over from the spring garden, is banana peppers. Got 4 banana pepper plants. They've been a really good producer this year. We've also got some banana peppers in a rain gutter grow system. We'll shoot a picture of that, put it in the video for you. We picked these about a week ago, and they're already back again. So again, just like the okra, I'm going to leave it alone. As long as it's producing, it's going to keep on producing. If y'all remember the last time we looked at this, everything on it was pretty much fire engine red. Well, what we did, we picked all those off and made a pepper sauce out of them. And not only does the smell kind of scare me, I hadn't even got past the smell, much less to try to taste some or put it on anything. But I picked all the peppers off of this plant, and it has refilled itself. It's grown a completely whole nother set of peppers. I need to get out here and go ahead and pick those and see what happens. As long as it produces, I'm going to keep putting them up. I'll find somebody that likes hot stuff. Okay, hopefully you can tell here, we have 8 Tabasco pepper plants. The first 4 closest to us, I picked those, and we made pepper sauce out of all those. I figured once I picked them, because I picked them bone dry, there was nothing, not a pepper left on them, unless it was a little bitty one, less than a ½ inch long. I figured that's it. They're done producing. Might as well pull them up. But I didn't. And they completely reloaded. They're ready to go for a whole nother batch. Just about. They're starting to turn orange and red. Now the 4 on the other end, I didn't pick any of those yet. And they're completely and totally loaded with red peppers, orange peppers, and kind of darker yellow peppers. Still Tabasco peppers, but they're going to get picked today, and we're going to see if they'll come back. Here we got our 4 jalapeno plants. These have been a really good producer. They're starting to slow down a little bit now. I reckon it's probably because the hot is gone away, or the 100-degree weather has gone away, I hope. But once again, these really produced real well for us this year. I've grown some of these in the rain gutter growth system. That's on another video I shot, just released a couple days ago. And this year, for the first time ever, we've actually got bell peppers. I'm not sure if it's, we planted them in a different spot in the garden this year. Did a couple things a little bit different with them as far as fertilizing and watering. Once again, we use the drip irrigation instead of the overhead watering. And these suckers have taken off. We're pulling so many that we're putting them up and giving them away. So, but no complaints there neither. We got extremely lucky this year with our bell peppers. They've grown like crazy. Off of 4 plants, we've harvested enough to put up several batches in the freezer and give some away and cook with them almost every other day. We're doing an experiment this year with some peas and beans. We grew purple hull peas and butter beans this year for the spring garden. Once I tilled it all under, I figured, well, let's see if we can get another crop of beans out of this. But I wanted to grow something that's not native to East Texas. And it may be native, I've just never seen it, but I don't think it's very native. We're going to try to grow some pole beans. So the far end cattle panel down there, which you put the cattle panels out here for them to have something to grow on. But the furthest cattle panel, it's going to have Blue Lake pole beans. I believe those are supposed to get about 1 foot to 1.5 foot long. Best I can tell from the pictures, it shells basically like a purple hull pea. It's supposed to have kind of the same consistency as purple hull or maybe green beans. Not real sure, but we're going to find out. This cattle panel closer to the camera is going to be red noodle. This is a climbing pole bean that produces 2 foot long beans. So I want to see a 2 foot long bean. I've never seen a bean any longer than about 1 foot. It's purple hull pea, something like that. But we're going to give them a shot. On the other cattle panel, the far cattle panel, is going to be pinto beans, which didn't really come up that well. Kind of surprised about that. And then the closer cattle panel is going to have Fortrex climbing pole beans. And I'd have to go look those up. They all have the same germination and maturity level as about a purple hull pea. So we're going to be pushing it. If we don't get any early frost, we'll be okay, I hope. These first 4 plants are going to be 8-ball squash. They were planted September the 1st and have a maturity date of 50 days. So I figure right around 2 months. So hopefully, once again, if the frost don't get them, if we don't have any early frost like we didn't have last year, we should be getting some squash off of these hopefully about maybe October 31st. Maybe around Halloween we'll be picking squash. That's the plan at least. Those are hybrid crookneck squash. They're also bred so they have a maturity date of about 50 days. Everything seems to be coming along real well. I'm going to try to keep these up off the ground so we won't have problems that we had in the spring garden. We got too much rain too quick and started getting mildew on the bottoms of the squash plants. But so far, using the drip tape watering or drip irrigation seems to be doing okay. A little bit further down the road, we got Better Boy tomatoes. These were bought from the feed store, already planted, or they were about 6 inches tall. And at the very end of the row, down by the bell peppers, we've got some Brussels sprouts. Never had Brussels sprouts before, never tried to grow Brussels sprouts before. Normally it's too hot. It may be too hot still, but we're going to give them a shot and see, because I love some baby Brussels sprouts. Here we have our turnip greens, which we do not grow them for the turnips. Neither one of us eat the turnips. Most of the time, these will probably get picked and either put up or eaten before they even have a chance to grow any decent sized turnips to them. I like some turnip greens. They have a maturity date of about 1 month, and we're pushing that 1 month, so we might even get out here and pick some of the bigger ones this afternoon or sometime this weekend and get us a little mess of turnip greens. And this last row, first couple plants are going to be tomatoes that we cloned from our hydroponic tomatoes. So far they're not doing that much, but they're not dying either, so hoping they're going to keep on going. Right beyond the tomatoes, have some radishes. Never had radishes before. Not even sure if I've ever even eaten a radish before, but they have a 30-day maturity date. So if you plant some radishes in some ground, you should be pulling radishes in about 30 days. So I figured we'd give it a shot. And beyond the radishes, we've got a couple more Brussels sprouts ran out of room on the other road, didn't want to go too much further.